Hello students. So in the last lecture we already learned what is the assets, and in the last lecture we also started the different types of the assets. Okay, in the last lecture we already learned the first type of your assets, and that's the fixed assets. So what are the fixed assets? Fixed assets are those assets from which we can get the benefit for long period of time. All such kind of the assets are comes under the category of your fixed assets. And building, machinery, furniture, motor car, all these are the examples of your fixed assets. Okay, then fixed assets also classified into two parts. First one your tangible assets and another one is your intangible assets. So what is the basic difference between the tangible and the intangible? Tangible means those assets which we can see, which we can touch, and it's also having the monetary value. Okay, and the example of a tangible asset is your building, furniture, motor van, okay, machinery, all these things which we can see, which we can touch comes under the category of your tangible assets. And the another type, that's your intangible asset. So what are the intangible assets? Intangible assets are those assets which we cannot see, which we cannot touch, but it's also having the monetary value. So your goodwill, your patents, your copyrights are the examples of your intangible assets. So in today's lecture we start with the another type of your assets, and that's your current assets. The another type of your assets, and that's your current assets. Okay, so now understand what is the current assets. Current assets are those assets which we easily converted into the cash within a year. All such kind of the assets are called as your current assets. Okay, what are the current assets? Current assets are those assets which we can easily converted into the cash. It's known as your current assets. Those assets which we easily converted into the cash within a year. All these assets are known as your current assets. जिस assets को हम लोग कैश में विदिन अ ईयर एक साल के अंदर कैश में कन्वर्ट कर सकते हैं, उसे हम लोग क्या कहते हैं? करंट assets. So now understand what are the examples of your current assets. So the very first example of your current assets, that's your cash in hand. Okay, what is the meaning of cash in hand? Cash in hand means the cash which is directly available in your office. Okay, the collection of daily cash, it comes under the category of your cash in hand. Okay, so these are the example of your current assets. Then second, cash at bank. Okay, cash at bank. What is the meaning of cash at bank? The cash which you already deposited into the bank, it is known as the cash at bank. This is also example of your current assets. Then debtors also example of your current assets. So now how debtor comes under the category of the current assets, and we already learned what is the debtor, who are the debtors. So what are the debtor? Debtor is the person to whom we sold goods on credit is known as the debtor. जिस पर्सन को हम गुड्स क्या करते हैं, क्रेडिट पे सोल्ड करते हैं, उसे हम लोग क्या कहते हैं? डेटर्स. Okay, and when we sold goods on credit to any customer, so definitely we assign a limited time period to that person to return back that amount to your business organization. Okay, so think practically. Suppose if you run a particular shop and if you sold goods on credit to the particular customer, so how much time period you allow to that a particular customer? So definitely max to max we can allow the time period of 2 months, 3 months. If there is your relative or very important person for you, then you can allow the time period of 5 to 6 months. Okay, समझ रहा है? अगर प्रैक्टिकली हम लोग अगर सोचेंगे, अगर हम लोग एक शॉप रन कर रहे हैं और अगर किसी भी पर्सन को हमने जो गुड्स है वो गुड्स हमने क्रेडिट पे बेचे, तो हम टाइम पीरियड देंगे ना? कितना टाइम पीरियड देंगे? 2 महीना, 3 महीना. अगर अच्छा आपका बेस्ट फ्रेंड रहेगा तो 5 to 6 months. इससे ज्यादा हम लोग टाइम पीरियड नहीं दे सकते. क्यों? इसका रीजन क्या है? अगर if you are not able to recover the amount from debtors, it directly converted into the concept of your bad debt. समझ रहे हैं? अगर debtors से amount हमें recover नहीं होगी तो उससे किस पे convert होता है? Bad debt. So what is the meaning of bad debt? Bad debt means the amount which is irrecoverable from the debtors is known as your bad debt. अगर हम लोग टाइम पे उस कस्टमर से पैसा रिटर्न लेने में हम अगर सक्सेस नहीं हुए तो हमें डायरेक्टली क्या होगा? लॉस हो सकता है, वो बैड डेट्स हो सकता है. समझ रहे हैं? इसलिए debtors also comes under the category of the current assets. Another example of your current assets, that's your stock. What is the meaning of stock? Stock is the shares. which you purchase from your stock market. समझ रहा है? शेयर मार्केट से हमने स्टॉक मार्केट से जो भी स्टॉक परचेस किया है, स्टॉक means what? A share which you purchase from your company. Okay, so from any company when you purchase the stock, you can sold that stock at the any time. Okay, you can sold that stock at the any time. अगर आपने 500 rupees का stock में shares purchase किया and now after 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, if the price of that stock increased to rupees 800, so in that transaction you earn the profit of rupees 300, so you can easily sold that stock and earn the extra amount that's rupees 300. समझ रहा है? So when we purchase the stock also we can easily convert it into the cash within a year. That's why stock also comes under the category of your current assets. Okay, so once again understand what is the current assets. Current assets are those assets which we can easily convert it into the cash within a year are known as your current assets, and these are some examples of your current assets. So the next type of your asset, and that's your fictitious assets. Fictitious assets. Okay, so under that, what is your fictitious assets? Fictitious assets are those assets which are not represented in the tangible position in your business. Basically, fictitious assets are imaginary assets which does not having any kind of the realizable value, and your example of your deferred revenue expenditure, that's advertisement for 4 years. Advertisement for 4 years. These are the examples of a fictitious assets. Okay, so once again understand what is the fictitious assets. Fictitious assets are those assets which are not represented in tangible position in the business. Okay, when you make the advertisement for 4 years, so इसके हम लोग दो effects लिखते हैं. Okay, so basically it's appears into your balance sheet asset side. Okay, but when you write down advertisement in your balance sheet asset side, but in the practically advertisement is not in the tangible position. Okay, अगर advertisement आप बैलेंस शीट के एसेट साइड में लिख रहे हो तो उससे आप टेंजिबल उसे देख नहीं सकते, एडवर्टाइजमेंट को टच नहीं कर सकते. समझ रहे हैं? वो एक एडवर्टाइजमेंट आप कर रहे हो. So that's why fictitious asset is also called as the imaginary assets. Okay, वो imaginary assets है. Okay, and does not having the realizable value, और उसकी कोई वैल्यू भी नहीं होती है, उसके आपको रिटर्न्स में कुछ नहीं मिलेगा. मींस आप अगर एडवर्टाइजमेंट करोगे उससे क्या होगा, एडवर्टाइजमेंट्स के वजह से जस्ट आप क्या कर सकते हो, आपके बिजनेस को प्रमोट कर सकते हो. यू कैन मेक द मार्केटिंग ऑफ योर बिजनेस, बट इट डज नॉट हैविंग द रियलाइजेबल वैल्यू. अगर आप एडवर्टाइजमेंट दूसरे को बेचोगे तो कोई लेगा नहीं, तो उसको वापस आपको कोई भी पैसे मिलने वाले नहीं होते. दैट्स व्हाई fictitious asset इज नोन एज द इमेजिनरी एसेट. वो आपके लिए इमेजिनरी एसेट्स है लेकिन उसका टेंजिबल पोजीशन नहीं है. व्हाट इज द एडवांटेज ऑफ द एडवर्टाइजमेंट? Because of this advertisement you can promote your products. Okay, that's it. But advertisement does not having any kind of the tangible position, or it also does not having any kind of the realizable value. That's why fictitious assets are known as the imaginary assets of your business organization. Okay, so these are the three types of your assets. So what is the first type? Fixed assets. What is the fixed assets? The fixed assets are those assets from which we get the benefit for long period of time. Then second type, that's the current assets. So what are the current assets? Current assets are those assets which we can easily convert it into the cash within a year. And what is the fictitious assets? Fictitious assets are just imaginary assets which does not have any kind of the realizable value, and it's also not available in the tangible position of your business. So these are the examples of your fixed assets, current assets, and the fictitious assets are the examples of your assets. So now we start with the next concept, and that's your liabilities. Liabilities. So now understand what is the liabilities. Liabilities means what? The amount payable by the business to the others is known as your liabilities. Amount payable by the business to the others, it's known as your liabilities. So basically liabilities is the debt or the amount which business have to pay to the others or to the other person for the benefit already received by the business is known as your liabilities. Okay, understand what is the liability? Liabilities is the amount payable by the business to the others for the benefit already received by the business is known as the liabilities. In short, when we compare the assets and the liabilities, so you can easily understand what is the meaning of the assets. Assets are the property of your business. Okay, what are the assets? assets are the property of your business, and liability is the debt of your business. What is the meaning of debt? It's in the form of debt means what? You have to repay that amount to other persons from which your business already received the benefit. उससे हम लोग क्या कहते हैं? Liabilities. लाइबिलिटीज का मतलब क्या होता है? सॉरी द मीनिंग ऑफ लाइबिलिटी, लाइबिलिटीज मींस एक जो अमाउंट होती है, जो अमाउंट हमें पे करनी होती है. ओके, लाइबिलिटीज मींस व्हाट? द अमाउंट है वो अमाउंट बिजनेस को पे करनी होती है. किसे बिजनेस अमाउंट पे करेगी? कि जो बेनिफिट ऑलरेडी बिजनेस ने रिसीव किया है अदर पर्सन से, उसे हम लोग जो वापस से पे करेंगे उसे हम लोग क्या कहते हैं? लाइबिलिटीज. समझ रहे हैं? असेट्स अपने बिजनेस की प्रॉपर्टी होती है और लाइबिलिटीज मींस क्या? जो अमाउंट हमें दूसरों को देनी होती है उसे हम लोग कहते हैं लाइबिलिटीज. So amount हम किस किस को देंगे? तो फॉर एग्जांपल if you taken the bank loan, okay, so you have to pay that amount of loan to your bank. समझ रहे हैं? बैंक से लोन लेंगे तो हमें वापस से बैंक को पैसे देना पड़ेगा. Then suppose the creditor, who is the creditor? Creditor is the person from whom we purchase goods on credit. So that's why definitely we have to repay that amount to your creditors. Suppose you taken any kind of the loan from financial institution, okay, if we take any kind of loan from the financial institutions, so after particular period of time or after some period of time we have to pay back all this amount to all this your bank, creditors and the that's financial institution. That's why all these things comes under the category of the liabilities. Okay, once again understand what is the concept of the liability. What is the liabilities? Liabilities means the amount business have to pay to another person for the benefit already received by your business is known as your liabilities. Okay, and what is the asset? Assets is the property of your business organization and liability is the debt. Okay, which you have to pay to the another persons are called as the liability. That is the basic difference between the assets and the liabilities. So now understand the various types of your liabilities. Types of your liabilities. Okay, so the very first type of your liabilities, and that's your fixed liabilities. That's your fixed liabilities. Okay, so the fixed liabilities is the very first type of your liabilities. So now understand what is the fixed liabilities. So fixed liability is the major source of fund of your business. Okay, so first of all understand the major source of your business fund, that's your fixed liabilities. Okay, and this can be in the form of capital or it can be in the form of secured loans. Okay, or it can be in the form of long-term bank loans, or it can be in the form of long-term loans from financial institutions. Long-term loans from financial institutions. So once again understand what is this concept of your fixed liabilities. So what is the fixed liability? One of the major source of fund of your business, that's your fixed liability. आपके बिजनेस का जो मेजर सोर्स है, जो फंड है, आपके बिजनेस चलाने के लिए जो पैसा लगता है, वो बिजनेस का रन करने के लिए जो पैसे लगते हैं, और जो पैसे जनरेट करने का जो सबसे बड़ा सोर्स है, उसे सोर्स को हम क्या कहते हैं? फिक्स्ड लायबिलिटीज. And that's why fixed liability in the form of capital, secured loans, long-term banks, or long-term financial institutions. Okay, in short, how you can understand what are the fixed liabilities? Fixed liabilities are those liabilities which we have to pay after long period of time. So all such kind of the liabilities comes under the category of your fixed liabilities. Understand what is the fixed liabilities? Fixed liabilities are those liabilities which we have to repay after long period of time. समझ रहे हैं? ज्यादा दिन के बाद जो long period of time के बाद जो liabilities हमें पे करनी होती है, उसे हम लोग क्या कहते हैं? Fixed liabilities. और हम लोग इस तरह से भी समझ सकते हैं fixed liabilities क्या होती है. So fixed liability is the major source of fund of your business. आपके बिजनेस का जो फंड है, वो फंड जनरेट करने का जो सबसे बड़ा सोर्स है, उस सोर्स को भी हम लोग क्या कह सकते हैं? फिक्स्ड लायबिलिटीज. ओके, एंड द कैपिटल, सिक्योर्ड लोन्स, लॉन्ग टर्म बैंक लोन्स एंड द लॉन्ग टर्म फाइनेंशियल loans from financial institutions are the examples of your fixed liability. So now understand these examples one by one. So what is the example? First one, what is the capital? Okay, and we already learned this concept of the capital. So what is the meaning of capital? Capital means what? The amount invested by the proprietor to run the business activities or to start the business is known as the capital. Okay, what is the example of the capital? What is the meaning of this word capital? Capital means what? The amount invested by the proprietor or the amount invested by the owner of your business, that is known as your capital. Okay, and when a proprietor invests that amount of capital in your business, so definitely we are going to use that amount for long period of time, and your business organization can repay that amount of capital repaid to your owner or the owner of that business organization when you close down all your business activities. That's why capital is the major source of your fixed liabilities, or with the help of capital you can generate the various amount or huge amount to run the business organizations. Okay, समझ रहा है? कैपिटल क्या होता है? कैपिटल मींस जो बिजनेस ओनर है, जो प्रोप्राइटर है, उसने बिजनेस रन करने के लिए जो अमाउंट इन्वेस्ट किए उसे हम लोग क्या कहते हैं? कैपिटल. अब जो कैपिटल की अमाउंट वो ओनर ने या प्रोप्राइटर ने जो बिजनेस में इन्वेस्ट किए, हम वो कितने दिन तक यूज करेंगे? तो कितने दिन तक यूज करेंगे? जब तक आप अपने बिजनेस ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस की ऑल द बिजनेस एक्टिविटीज क्लोज नहीं करते. समझ रहे? जब तक आपका बिजनेस आप बंद नहीं करते हो, आप चालू रखते हो, उस समय तक आप कैपिटल की अमाउंट जो है वो कैपिटल की अमाउंट आपको रन करनी पड़ती है, मतलब आप यूज कर सकते हो. समझ रहे हैं? सो आने वाले लेक्चर्स में जब आप बिजनेस एंटिटी की कॉन्सेप्ट लर्न करेंगे तो आपको पता चलेगा कि अमाउंट हमें क्यों रिपेड करनी होती है. ओके, सो अभी तक के लिए आप यही समझ सकते हैं कि द अमाउंट इन्वेस्टेड बाय द ओनर टू रन द बिजनेस एक्टिविटीज, सो वी डेफिनेटली यूज दैट अमाउंट अप टू व्हेन यू क्लोज डाउन ऑल योर बिजनेस एक्टिविटीज. जब आप अपने बिजनेस की सभी एक्टिविटीज क्लोज डाउन करेंगे तो आपको ये अमाउंट जो है कैपिटल की, वो कैपिटल की अमाउंट क्या करनी पड़ेगी? ओनर को रिपेड करनी पड़ेगी. ओके, मींस वी हैव टू repay that amount to the owner after long period of time. Okay, and what is the fixed liabilities? Fixed liabilities are those liabilities which we have to repay after long period of time. That's why capital is the example of your fixed liabilities. Then another example, that's your secured loans or the long term loans. So what is the long term loans? The loans which is the time period more than 5 years, it comes under the category of your long term loans. Okay, जो loans की जो लोन से और लोन का ड्यूरेशन जिसका 5 साल से ज्यादा होता है उसे हम लोग क्या कहते हैं? लॉन्ग टर्म बैंक लोन्स. Okay, so suppose if I started the business and I invested the amount as a capital. Okay, but now the amount invested by me as a capital is now not sufficient to run that business activities. So that's why how I can generate another amount. समझ रहे हैं? अगर मैंने कैपिटल के लिए जो अमाउंट बिजनेस में इन्वेस्ट की है वो अमाउंट को मेरा बिजनेस रन करने के लिए अगर सफिशिएंट नहीं है, मुझे अगर एक्स्ट्रा ज्यादा अमाउंट लगेगी तो ज्यादा अमाउंट मैं किससे लाऊंगा? सो व्हाट आई डू, मैंने क्या किया? लॉन्ग टर्म लोन बैंक से लिया. समझ रहे हैं? बैंक ने मुझे एक लॉन्ग टर्म लोन दिया है. व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ लॉन्ग टर्म लोन्स? दो लोन्स विच टाइम ड्यूरेशन इज मोर देन 5 इयर्स. जिस लोन का जो टाइम ड्यूरेशन 5 इयर्स से ज्यादा होता है उसे हम लोग क्या कहते हैं? लॉन्ग टर्म लोन. सो लॉन्ग टर्म बैंक लोन one example of your fixed liabilities. Same example as long term loan from financial institutions. Suppose if you bring long term loan from your financial institutions, means the loans which we have to repay more than after the 5 years. समझ रहे हैं? 5 years के बाद अगर आपको उसे पे करनी है, so all these things comes under the category of your fixed liabilities. Okay, so once again understand what is the fixed liabilities. So what is the fixed liabilities? So now what is the first thing? फिक्स लायबिलिटी इज द मेजर सोर्स ऑफ योर फंड. ओके, आपके बिजनेस का सबसे मेजर सोर्स जो होता है उसे हम लोग क्या कहते हैं? फिक्स लायबिलिटीज. ओके, एंड व्हाट अनदर थिंग? द फिक्स लायबिलिटीज आर दोस लायबिलिटीज वी हैव टू पे आफ्टर लॉन्ग पीरियड ऑफ टाइम. ओके, फिक्स लायबिलिटीज आर दोस लायबिलिटीज वी हैव टू पे आफ्टर लॉन्ग पीरियड ऑफ टाइम. सो कैपिटल, लॉन्ग टर्म लोन्स, सिक्योर्ड लोन्स और लॉन्ग टर्म फाइनेंस, long term loan taken from the financial institution definitely have to pay after long period of time. That's why all these things are the examples of your fixed liabilities. Now understand the second type of your liabilities, and that's your current liabilities. The second type of your liabilities, that's your current liabilities. Okay, so now understand what is the meaning of this word current liability. Okay, so the concept of your current liabilities and the current assets are 90% similar. What is the current assets? Current assets are those assets which we can easily convert it into the cash within a year is known as your current assets. Okay, and now understand what is the current liabilities. Current liabilities are those liabilities which we have to pay within a year is known as your current liabilities. समझ रहे? What is the current liabilities? Current liabilities are those liabilities which we have to repay within a year is known as your current liabilities. जो liabilities हमें क्या करनी पड़ेगी, एक साल के अंदर हमें जो रिपेड करनी होगी, जो हमें पे करनी होगी, उसे हम लोग क्या कहेंगे, current liabilities. So understand what is the example of your current liabilities. So the very first example of your current liability is your creditors. Okay, so you already learned this concept of creditors. So who is the creditor? Creditor is the person to whom creditor is the person from whom we purchase the goods on credit is known as the creditor. Okay, who is the creditor? Creditor is the person from whom we purchase goods on credit. जिससे हम लोग गुड्स क्रेडिट पे परचेस करते हैं उसे हम लोग क्या कहते हैं, क्रेडिटर्स. ओके, सो मैंने ऑलरेडी आपको एग्जांपल बताया था डेटर्स के अंदर. जैसे हम लोग डेटर्स को जो है, जो टाइम पीरियड जो है, जो क्रेडिट पीरियड है, जो 5-6 मंथ से ज्यादा नहीं दे सकते, दैट्स व्हाई जो क्रेडिटर है वो क्रेडिटर भी हमें जो टाइम पीरियड है, जो क्रेडिट पीरियड है, वो 5 to 6 मंथ से ज्यादा हमें देने वाला नहीं है. मतलब जैसे हम लोग डेटर्स से जो अमाउंट है वो 5 to 6 मंथ्स के अंदर ही रिकवर करेंगे, वैसे हमें जो अमाउंट है वो भी अमाउंट जो क्रेडिटर को है, वो क्रेडिटर को हमें विदिन 5 to 6 मंथ रिपे करनी पड़ेगी. दैट्स व्हाई creditors comes under the category of your current liabilities. Then another example of your current liabilities, that's the bank overdraft. Okay, so bank overdraft is also one of the very important example of your current liabilities. So first understand what is the bank overdraft. Okay, so the bank overdraft is the facility given by the bank to their customers. Okay, जो बैंक ओवरड्राफ्ट है वो बैंक ओवरड्राफ्ट की जो फैसिलिटी जो बैंक ने उनके कस्टमर को दी रहती है. समझ रहे हैं? मतलब suppose there is one person who are having the current account with the bank, so definitely bank can provide the bank overdraft facilities to that current account holder. उस current account holder को बैंक overdraft facility देती है. So first understand what is a bank overdraft. Suppose there is one person, और जिसका वो बैंक के साथ एक अकाउंट खोला है, सेविंग अकाउंट या करंट अकाउंट. सो स्पेसिफिकली द बैंक ओवरड्राफ्ट फैसिलिटीज गिवन टू योर करंट अकाउंट होल्डर्स. ओके, सो एक पर्सन है कि जिसका करंट अकाउंट है और अगर बैंक ने उसे ओवरड्राफ्ट फैसिलिटी दी रखी है 2 लाख रुपीस की. समझ रहे हैं? बैंक ओवरड्राफ्ट फैसिलिटी दे रखी है 2 लाख रुपीस की. सो अंडरस्टैंड what is the meaning of this 2 lakh rupees given by the bank as a overdraft facility to its customer. Okay, मतलब उस कस्टमर्स के अगर बैंक अकाउंट में कुछ भी नहीं रहेगा, अगर पैसे कम रहेंगे, फिर भी वो क्या कर सकता है, 2 लाख रुपीस जो है वो 2 लाख रुपीस की जो अमाउंट है वो 2 लाख रुपीस की अमाउंट बैंक से यूज कर सकता है. ओके, समझ रहा है? मतलब सपोज देयर इज अ पर्सन है, उसके एक्चुअली जो बैंक अकाउंट है उस बैंक अकाउंट में जो है ओनली 50,000 रुपीस है. ओके, कितने रुपीस है उसके बैंक अकाउंट में? सिर्फ 50,000 रुपीस है. ओके, अगर मेरे बैंक अकाउंट में 50,000 रुपीस अगर बैलेंस रहेगा और अगर मुझे किसी को 1 लाख रुपीस का चेक देना पड़ेगा तो मैं दे सकता हूँ क्या? प्रैक्टिकली पॉसिबल नहीं है, क्योंकि अगर मेरे बैंक अकाउंट में 50,000 रुपीस है तो मैं 1 लाख रुपीस का चेक किसी और को कैसे दे सकता हूँ? वो चेक क्या हो जाएगा? बाउंस हो जाएगा. लेकिन when I am having the bank overdraft facility, then I can pay or I can give the check of rupees 1 lakh when I am having the bank balance of rupees 50,000 because of my bank overdraft facility. समझ आए? अगर आपके पास बैंक ओवरड्राफ्ट फैसिलिटी है तो आप क्या कर सकते हो, अगर आपके अकाउंट्स में 50,000 रुपीस है तो भी आप 1 लाख रुपीस तक का चेक दे सकते हो. ओके, सो उसके बाद पेमेंट कैसे होगा? तो पेमेंट ऐसे होगा कि 50,000 रुपीस जो है वो आपके बैंक में से डिडक्ट हो जाएंगे और ये जो 50,000 रुपीस जो है ऊपर के एक्स्ट्रा 50,000 रुपीस कौन पे करेगा? आपकी बैंक पे करेगी, आपकी बैंक ओवरड्राफ्ट फैसिलिटी में से आपको पे करेगी और बाद में फिर भी आप 1,50,000 रुपीस की अमाउंट जो है वो एज अ बैंक ओवरड्राफ्ट फैसिलिटी के अंदर यूज कर सकते हैं. ओके, बट द अमाउंट ऑफ रुपीस 50,000 which is paid by the bank, you have to repay that amount to your bank within a specific period of time, and basically that period of time is less than 1 year. That's why bank overdraft comes under the category of the current liabilities. मतलब 50,000 रुपीस जो आपने बैंक ओवरड्राफ्ट से यूज किए हैं वो आपको विदिन अ ईयर, एक साल के अंदर आपको बैंक को वापस से पे करने पड़ेंगे. दैट्स व्हाई इट कम्स अंडर द कैटेगरी ऑफ योर करंट लायबिलिटीज. समझ रहे हैं? सो अंडरस्टैंड what are the types of the liabilities. So first type is your fixed liabilities and another type that's your current liabilities. So understand what is the basic difference between the fixed liabilities and the current liabilities. What are the fixed liabilities? Fixed liabilities is the one of the major source of fund of your institution, and the fixed liabilities are those liabilities which we have to pay after long period of time. Okay, long period of time के बाद आपको pay करनी पड़ेगी. And what are the current liabilities? Current liabilities are those liabilities which we have to repay within a year. Okay, एक साल के अंदर जो आपको liabilities pay करनी पड़ेगी, it is known as your current liabilities, and that's the basic difference between your fixed liabilities and your current liabilities. So now understand the next concept, and that's your contingent liability. Next concept, and that's your contingent liability. Contingent liability. So now understand what is the meaning of this contingent liability. Contingent liabilities are those liabilities which are not fixed. So this liability is totally depend on the future situations or the future conditions. That's why the contingent liability is not fixed or not perfect liability. That's why it does not affect the financial position of your business. That's why contingent liability is not appeared in your balance sheet liability side. So we record this contingent liabilities as a footnote in your balance sheet for your additional information. Okay, so understand what is the contingent liability. What I said, contingent liabilities are those liabilities which are not fixed. Okay, contingent liabilities is not fixed or fixed नहीं होती है. It's totally depend on the future situation. जो future situation है, future situation के ऊपर वो depend है. It's the type of, it's maybe or may not be. It's not a sure. इसे हमें पता नहीं होता है. Contingent liability शायद हमें pay भी करनी पड़ेगी, शायद से नहीं भी pay करनी पड़ेगी. It's totally depend upon the future situation. That's why it's not a fixed or perfect liability. So that's why we does not record it. Contingent liability is your balance sheet liability side. Okay, balance sheet के liability side में हम लोग contingent liability नहीं लिखते हैं. क्यों नहीं लिखते हैं? क्योंकि वो financial position को affect नहीं करते. Liability side में अगर आप कुछ भी चीज लिखोगे तो उसका meaning ये होता है कि definitely you have to pay that amount. Okay, when it's perfect or it's fixed, you have to pay that amount. That's time only you can record that amount in your balance sheet liability side. But contingent liability is not fixed or fixed ही नहीं है. Okay, it's totally depend on the future situation. That's why you not recorded this contingent liabilities in your balance sheet liabilities side. Okay, अगर हम लोग balance sheet के liabilities side में अगर contingent liability नहीं लिखते तो फिर क्या करते हैं? So just we recorded contingent liabilities at the end of your balance sheet के नीचे as a footnote करके हम लोग लिखते हैं. जब हम लोग बैलेंस शीट बनाएंगे तो बैलेंस शीट के नीचे हम लोग इस कंटीजेंट लायबिलिटी को वी जस्ट रिकॉर्डेड एज अ फुटनोट. ओके, फॉर आवर एडिशनल इंफॉर्मेशन. हमारे एडिशनल इंफॉर्मेशन के लिए हमें पता चलने के लिए हम लोग क्या करते हैं, उसे एज अ फुटनोट रिकॉर्ड करते हैं. सो टेक वन एग्जांपल बाय व्हिच यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज दिस कंटीजेंट लायबिलिटी. एक एग्जांपल लेते हैं, सो हमें पता चलेगा कि एग्जैक्टली कंटीजेंट लायबिलिटी क्या है. सो टेक वन एग्जांपल. देयर इज वन वर्कर, ओके, एंड दैट वर्कर claim rupees 50,000 on your business organization. समझ रहे हैं? आपके बिजनेस का एक वर्कर है और उसके वर्कर ने क्या किया है कि आपके बिजनेस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के ऊपर एक क्लेम किया है. क्या क्या क्लेम किया है? कंपनसेशन के लिए कि आपकी जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से उसे 50,000 रुपीस देने पड़ेंगे. इस टाइप का उन्होंने क्लेम किया है. समझ रहे हैं? फिर से समझ लिए व्हाट इज सिचुएशन. आपका एक वर्कर है और आपके वर्कर ने आपके जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है उस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के ऊपर एक केस फाइल की है कोर्ट के अंदर, और कोर्ट के अंदर केस फाइल की है और आपको बताया है कि 50,000 रुपीस जो है वो कंपनसेशन आपको देना पड़ेगा. उस वर्कर के और आपके बिजनेस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के बीच में कुछ इश्यू हो रहेगा और उस इश्यू की वजह से उस वर्कर ने क्या किया है, आपकी बिजनेस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के ऊपर एक केस फाइल की है कोर्ट के अंदर और आपको बोला है कि 50,000 रुपीस जो आपकी कंपनी को है वो कंपनी को कंपनसेशन उसे देना पड़ेगा. Okay, what is the situation? A worker file a case against your business organization that your organization have to pay rupees 15,000 as a compensation to that particular worker. Okay, अब now understand what is the situation. उसने तो क्लेम किया है, लेकिन एक क्लेम जो क्या है उसके अंदर क्या है, एक कोर्ट के अंदर. ओके, अगर अभी उस पर्सन को या उस वर्कर को 50,000 रुपीस पे करना है या 50,000 रुपीस पे नहीं करना है, इट्स टोटली डिपेंड ऑन द कोर्ट डिसीजन. समझ रहे हैं? उससे हमें 50,000 पे करनी है या 50,000 नहीं पे करनी, इट्स टोटली डिपेंड ऑन द कोर्ट डिसीजन. जो कोर्ट डिसीजन देगा उसके ऊपर आपका जो फ्यूचर है फ्यूचर डिपेंड है. मतलब अगर उस कोर्ट ने उसके साइड से अगर जो है वो रिपोर्ट दिया तो आपको 50,000 रुपीज उसको पे करनी पड़ेगी। अगर कोर्ट जो है वो कोर्ट ने आपके बिजनेस ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस के साथ अगर उसने डिसीजन दिया तो आपको 50,000 रुपीज नहीं पे करनी, मतलब 50,000 रुपीज पे करनी है उस वर्कर को या 50,000 उस वर्कर को पे नहीं करने रही, इट टोटली डिपेंड्स ऑन योर कोर्ट डिसीजन। दैट्स व्हाई कंटीजेंट लायबिलिटीज डज नॉट अपीयर इन योर बैलेंस शीट लायबिलिटी साइड। व्हाई? बिकॉज़ इट्स नॉट फिक्स्ड। Okay, so now you have to pay rupees 50,000 or you does not have to pay rupees 50,000 is totally depend on that court decision. That's why your contingent liability is not fixed or perfect. That's why contingent liability is not appeared in your balance sheet liability side, but you always recorded that contingent liability as a footnote below your balance sheet. Okay, so understand what is the contingent liability? Contingent liability is which liability which is not fixed. It's totally depend on the future situation. That's why it does not appear in your balance sheet liability side, but you recorded that liability as a footnote below to your balance sheet for your additional information. So now understand the next concept, and that's the discount. That's the discount. Okay, so discount is also common concept. So what is a discount? Discount means the concession given by the seller to the purchaser or the customer. Okay, what is the meaning of discount? Discount means what? The concession given by the seller to the purchaser or the customer is called as a discount. Okay, and basically two types of the discounts are there. So first type of your discount, that's the trade discount, and another type of a discount, that's your cash discount. So these are the two types of the discount are there. Okay, so what is the discount? Discount means what? The concession given by the seller to the purchaser or to the customers, and two types of the discounts are there. First one is the trade discount and another one is your cash discount. So now understand the first type of your discount, and that's the trade discount. So what is the trade discount? Trade discount is a discount which is given on your catalog price or your list price. Okay, what is the trade discount? Trade discount is a discount which is given on your catalog price or on the list price. And the trade discount is given at the time of purchase or sale of the product. Okay, when we purchase or sold the product, and that time we allow that discount is known as your trade discount. And when we sold or purchased the product after allowing the trade discount, then both the seller and the purchaser have to record that amount of the product after the calculation of the trade discount. Okay, so once again understand what is the trade discount. Trade discount क्या होता है? Trade discount is a discount which is given on the catalog price or the list price. जो आपकी कैटलॉग प्राइस रहती है या लिस्ट प्राइस रहती है, उसके ऊपर जो डिस्काउंट हम लोग देते हैं उसे क्या कहते हैं? ट्रेड डिस्काउंट. That's why trade discount is given at the time of selling and purchasing of the goods. Okay, when we sell or purchase the goods, at that time we allow this trade discount, and when we sold the goods at the trade discount, after that your purchaser or seller have to record that amount after deducting that amount of your trade discount. Suppose there is a we purchased the goods of rupees 1,000 from A. Okay, we purchased the goods of rupees 8,000 from Mr. A. Okay, so understand what is the transaction? Suppose Mr. B purchased the goods of rupees 1,000 from Mr. A. What is the transaction? Mr. B purchased the goods of rupees 1,000 from Mr. A, but they decided to allow what? 10% trade discount. They decided to allow what? 10% trade discount. So how much is 10% of 1,000? So rupees 100 is your 10%. So how much the price become of that particular goods after the trade discount? That's rupees 9. Okay, so when Mr. A and we decided to sell or purchase of that goods of rupees 1,000 at 10% trade discount, and after that the value of that goods become rupees 900. So Mr. A as well as Mr. B have to record that amount of that goods in their particular books of account at rupees 900. Okay, जब अगर वो ट्रेड डिस्काउंट के बाद ट्रांजैक्शन कर रहे हैं तो उसकी जो अमाउंट है वो अमाउंट आपको आफ्टर ट्रेड डिस्काउंट के बाद की बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स में रिकॉर्ड करनी पड़ेगी, एंड दैट्स व्हाई ट्रेड डिस्काउंट इज नॉट रिकॉर्डेड इन द बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स. समझ रहे? वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग, ट्रेड डिस्काउंट इज नॉट रिकॉर्डेड इन द बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स. बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट में हम लोग ट्रेड डिस्काउंट क्यों नहीं रिकॉर्ड कर रहे? क्योंकि ऑलरेडी ए एंड बी जो परचेसर है और सेलर है उन्होंने क्या किया है, ये जो 10% है 10% ट्रेड डिस्काउंट तो 100 रुपीज माइनस करने के बाद की ही अमाउंट 900 रुपीज ऑलरेडी बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स में लिखी हुई है। समझ रहे? वापस से अगर आप लोग 10% लेस करोगे तो डबल आप ट्रेड डिस्काउंट उधर कैलकुलेट कर रहे हो। समझ रहे? So when trade discount is already calculated, that's why trade discount does not appear in your books of accounts. Okay, so what is a trade discount? Trade discount is a discount which is given on list price or on the catalog price. And when purchaser and buyer purchase or sold goods at the trade discount, then they have to record that amount in the books of accounts after the calculation of trade discount. That's why once again trade discount is not calculated, and that's why trade discount is not recorded in the books of accounts. Now understand the second type of the discount, and that's the cash discount. The another type of discount, and that's the cash discount. Okay, so the concept of cash discount is also a very common concept. So what happens? What is the cash discount? What is the cash discount? Cash discount is what the extra concession given by the seller where he immediately received the amount or he received the spot immediately payment. In that case, he can allow the cash discount to the customer to encourage the customer and to receive the amount of that goods at a time immediately. In that case, a seller allows the extra concession, and that extra concession is called as your cash discount. ओके, सेलर जो है सेलर बायर को जो एक्स्ट्रा कंसेशन देता है उस एक्स्ट्रा कंसेशन को हम लोग क्या कहते हैं? कैश डिस्काउंट। ओके, और कैश डिस्काउंट इज अ वेरी कॉमन कॉन्सेप्ट। फॉर एग्जांपल सपोज अगर हम लोग मार्केट में गए और मार्केट में जाने के बाद सपोज इफ यू परचेज वन पर्टिकुलर थिंग फॉर ₹1000 इज द प्राइस ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर थिंग। अगर आप मार्केट में गए और मार्केट के जाने के बाद अगर आपने कुछ परचेज किया और परचेज करने के बाद उसकी जो वैल्यू है वो वैल्यू कितनी है? 1000 रुपीज। ओके, अगर अभी हम लोग देखेंगे तो प्रैक्टिकली ट्रांजैक्शंस कैसे होते हैं। अगर अभी मेरे पॉकेट में 1000 रुपीज होंगे तो मैं उन्हें सीधा कितने में बोलूंगा कि 1000 रुपीज की जो चीज है आप मुझे कितने में दोगे? ओके, 1000 रुपीज की चीज है आप मेरे को कितने में दोगे? तो अगर आप इमीडिएटली पेमेंट कर रहे हो तो वो जो सेलर है वो सेलर आपको क्या बोलेगा? चलो आपको और ऊपर से 100 रुपीज में डिस्काउंट देता हूँ और आपसे कितने रुपीज लूंगा? 900 लूंगा और आप 900 रुपीज देके वो चीज लेके आएंगे। ओके, अब अनदर सिचुएशन समझ लीजिए। अगर सेम सिचुएशन है 1000 रुपीज की वो पर्टिकुलर गुड्स मार्केट में अवेलेबल है और अभी आप परचेस करने गए। अभी आप परचेस करने के गए और आपके पास तो अभी पॉकेट में 1000 रुपीज ही नहीं और आप क्या कर रहे हैं? 1000 रुपीज जो है वो 1000 रुपीज क्रेडिट पे परचेस कर रहे हैं। 1000 रुपीज क्या कर रहे हैं आप लोग? क्रेडिट पे परचेस कर रहे हैं। तो जब आप लोग 1000 रुपीज क्रेडिट पे परचेस करोगे तो आपको 1000 रुपीज की चीज 1000 रुपीज में ही देगा, तो उसमें आपको कोई भी एक्स्ट्रा कंसेशन वो नहीं देने वाला है। समझ रहा है? Why cash discount is given? Cash discount is given to only those customers from which you can receive the amount of that product immediately. In that case only you can allow the cash discount, and in the credit transaction you cannot allow the cash discount. Credit transaction में आप cash discount allow कर ही नहीं सकते। Already वो जो amount है आपको you have वो जो person आपको पे करेगा कब? After some period of time. But the person who are having the cash right now, he can pay the amount of that cash immediately. That's why you allow the extra concession, and that concession is known as your cash discount. So now understand what is the basic difference between the cash discount and the trade discount. That's very simple. Trade discount does not recorded in the books of account, but this extra cash discount is given is always recorded in the books of account. Okay, so when we pass the journal entries in the accountancy, always remember one rule: trade discount is not recorded in the books of account, but cash discount is always recorded in the books of account. So I hope you understood all this concept which we all learned in the today's lecture. So see you tomorrow with the another very important concept of the accountancy in the next lecture. Bye.